Hello, good evening, and welcome to another exciting moment on air where we do not just inform you, but we also educate and also analyze not just the economy but stocks in such a way that it will become so simple for you investing in stocks to make money. So welcome. Today we have a lot to do, and I'm very sure what we are going to be doing now, today, is very uncommon. It will take a lot of thinking. It will take deep thinking. It will take you having the understanding of the workings of the market. It will take you being well informed, as a matter of fact, miles ahead of others. It will take a lot to put this together. It is not just mere calculations. It also incorporates the literature of equity investment. You know, Warren Buffett did say that sometimes to make the best of investment in stocks, you need to look beyond mathematics. You need to think literature, which is all we are going to be combining today. I've got my knowledge market operators in the house. What we are going to be doing, because you see in 2021, the first set of, or let me put it this way, the best set of equities that led the market, particularly in geometrical price appreciation, were low-priced equities, if that is the case. What we, in fact, some of those equities, at the beginning of the year, you would not have thought that equities like Morrison will end up returning over 300% in 1 year. And like that, you see equities like Honeywell and some others, low-priced equities. So what we're going to be doing today is to look at a number of low-price, low-cap stocks, and then we look at the possibilities going forward into 2022. And I can tell you, if time permits, we have more than 40 we're going to be talking about today. This is uncommon, so you will help call a friend, call a family member, let them tune in now. This is the best they can get as far as the media is concerned when it comes to analysis of equities. And not that alone, investment education. I will go on a short break now. When I return, it will be an explosive session. No argument. We'll just do more of information. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm Abayomi of Babulujo. I'm coming to you this time around to formally invite you to be a member of Association of Avid Shareholder. In the past, I've been used and done. That is what I've seen. People who want to do private placement, they will call me, and then I will give them support. After they got the money, they become unreachable. Some of these companies, as we speak now, are being delisted from the floor of the NGX. It shouldn't be. You see, there's a limit to how far the Securities and Exchange Commission can do. There's a limit to what the NGX can do. They're just the regulators. They will not do beyond the dictate of their regulatory responsibilities. But you see, to make management of our quoted companies to sit tight is a responsibility that you and me, as investors in the market, will have to undertake. In 2008, when the market crashed, I know how much I lost. It almost ruined me. But thank God, I survived. Many people did not survive. But how many managers of quoted companies actually experienced such losses? They collect salary. They manage companies for 10 years without paying one single dividend. And yet, they pay themselves bonuses. They pay themselves salaries. What are you benefiting? So let us rise together and make sure that things are done properly, that things are done well, the way things should be done in this market. That is why in the month of February 19, 2022, we're going to be converging. The place we're going to be using really is not big enough, so you have to pre-register. Register first as a member of Association of Avid Shareholders, and then register to attend the event. As we gather together, as we embark on our mobilization, so we are also going to be previewing 2022 to tell you what stocks, what industries that you should invest, and then we tell you why. We tell you the qualities of equities you should invest in, and we also show you those you should not even bother to go near. These are the things we want to do, to share experiences, to share knowledge, to share information, to educate ourselves, so that we all can become informed investors, better investors, as we also stand to claim our right, to fight for our right, so that we can secure our future as we are investing today. That is my submission. I hope to see you. Thank you. Welcome back. Please now join me in welcoming Malam Garba Kurfi. He is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, APT Securities and Funds Limited, member Nigerian Stock Exchange. Malam, you are welcome.
I'm happy to be with you.
And also our friend Aruna Kibira, who is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Global View Capital Limited, also member Nigerian Stock, member NGX, right?
Trading license holder of NGX.
All right, we continue to get correct ourselves. You know, we have been used to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for this long years, so we have no choice than to still continue. When I say Nigerian Stock Exchange in error, you should understand that I would have meant to say NGS. We go straight to business, just a little thing, still very important, and they have to do with the market also, but we will be very, very brief so that we can create time to do the other ones. One, Access Bank PLC warns investors against Access Capital Investment Platform. According to the release from Access Bank PLC, their attention has been drawn to an online investment entity known and described as Access Capital Investment Platform. Access Capital Investment Platform has been soliciting members of the public to invest into its products, promising mouth-watering returns on investment. Access Bank PLC wishes to dissociate itself, affiliates, subsidiaries, and/or proxies from the activities, contract claims, or business engagements of Access Capital Investment Platform. Access Capital Investment Platform is not an affiliate nor subsidiary of Access Bank PLC. Malam, I put this first question to you because you are far more experienced in the market, and you are closer to the regulators, and you are also a judge within the capital market. Now, what do I really need to look out for to be convinced of the authenticity of an investment before I embark on it?
I think our investors should be very mindful. We had several experiences. Just recently, we had an Tata investment that swallowed billions of naira in Kano and has no business with the Tata family. I advise investors, don't be rushed for the return. Look at the authenticity of most of these companies. I believe these capital investors have no register, because there is no way Corporate Affairs Commission will register any company with the bearing of Access, because Access will be tagged to Access Group. And if you have no bearing with Access Group, they will not register you. Most of the time, these companies are not registered. Even if where they were registered in error, it's not enough. Look at the RC number, go and find out who are behind this company. Don't assume. Investment is a serious matter. Nobody should take anything for granted. So you are in Lagos. If somebody come and say Dosumu investment, you will just assume that it's related to Dosumu family, or Palawa investment, then you assume that it's related to Palawa investment. No. Go beyond this. Look at the RC number, who are behind it, before you start dealing with this.
Thank you, Malam. Arun, I put this question to you. How do I ensure that my investment is secure? One, particularly if such investment has got to do with online platform like this Access Capital Investment Platform. Or how do I, or will you suggest that I simply shun anything online?
No, I think the technology has brought doing business online has come to be because of the technology that we have now. But what most people do is they will look for a name that is in proximity with a no brand and come out whether registered or not. And this one we are talking about may be a Ponzi scheme. But one of the things that we always tell you that what you are going into is not genuine, is the kind of return that they promise. How can you tell me that you want to give me 20% on my money every day? The question is, the first thing you ask yourself, the money that they are taking from you, where are they deploying it? What investment are they deploying it? What are they using it to do? Somebody say bring 100 naira, I'll bring you 200, and that is 100%. How has it turned around the 100 naira in your hand quickly? By how much is it turning it around to give you 100%? Is it making 500% out of it?
Let me add my own. Ask them, who is the ombudsman? Who is an ombudsman? Somebody you can report them to. Every investment you want to undertake. Not police. Police is never an ombudsman because we know the way Nigerian police works. Alright? They will collect from A, they will collect from B. I didn't say anything though. Okay? That said, like in the stock market, if Malam here or Aruna here should offend you, you have Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers to report them to. You have the NGS to report them to, and then I think NGS regulatory, and then you have the Securities and Exchange Commission. If you are not satisfied, you can sue them and take them to Investment and Securities Tribunal before you even go to the conventional courts. If you are not able to get any of such in any form of investment, you are on your own. Dangote Cement to commence tranche 2 of its share buyback. Exercise will be executed under the approval granted by the shareholders as at 26th of May 2021. Exercise will be within framework provided under Rule 398, Section 3, Section X is 10, if I'm not mistaken. That is Section 14 of the Securities and Exchange Commission and Rule 13.18 of the Rule Book of the NGX. Commencement date is Wednesday, 19 January 2022. That is this week. Completion date is Thursday, 28 January 2022. Did I make a mistake?
It's January. Yeah.
Is it 19th January to 20 January or is it February?
No, 19 January to 20 January.
Just
2 days.
one.
2 days, 19 and 20. That was the same qualification last year. 2020, it was 29, 29 and 30 December.
All right.
They gave 2 days, the same 2 days consistent.
Oh, so buyback includes 40,200,000 shares held as treasury shares following the conclusion of the tranche 1 of the share buyback program. Repurchased shares will be held as treasury shares and may subsequently be cancelled. Shareholders and investors advised to exercise caution when dealing in the Dangote Cement until the completion of buyback. Now, Malam, I put this question to you. How much is being expected to be committed to this exercise?
Well, you see, first and foremost, I will respect Dangote Cement because it's the single company ever in the history of Nigerian capital market that ever come to buy back. And it shows you that they are washes money. Because ordinarily, when companies are coming to the market to look for money, they are using their excess cash to reduce their holding. Remember last year, 2020, they did buyback. And it went as high as 245. Since the buyback, the stock never traded below 200.
Malam.
Today, it's now 270. And I can assure you, before the completion of this buyback, it's not surprised to hit 300 naira.
Malam, in as much as we really don't have time and I wouldn't want us to dwell so much on this, as far as we are concerned, this is a very good thing to do. But if you are washed with cash, will it be a sin if they deploy that as dividend, cash dividend payout to their?
You see, the question is that you have the choice. If you decided to pay dividend, at least the shareholder will lose by paying withholding tax before you get it. Now, if they decided to reduce the number, you lose nothing. And those who decided to sell, unless you have 100 million turnover, you don't have any capital gain to pay. So therefore, it's win-win situation by buying back. And don't forget that by buying back, you are reducing your numbers. And the more you reduce the numbers, the more the higher earnings, the more the higher the dividend.
But
And
you
the
have
better
sold-
for it.
You have sold it. Aruna, does it make sense to you?
I think what they are trying to do is that those that will remain is the same pie. We really have a bigger chunk of it now. That means because if you reduce your outstanding, then EPS will naturally grow. I think one of the reasons why they do that, first of all, is to increase their ownership, because if you were 5%, your ownership was 5% and the stock is reduced, the outstanding is reduced, the ownership will grow maybe to 6% to 7%, and consequently sometimes it is used to ward off hostile takeovers.
Anyway, I don't want us to dwell much on
For
this.
me, it's a
really.
learning curve for the rest of the company. Because today, in 2020, we traded Dangote cement as low as 117 naira. Throughout last year, it's never traded below 200 naira. Now it's trading as 276. I assure you, after this buyback, it may not trade below 300 naira. And it's the way going up. And it is a lesson for the rest.
Malam,
because the higher the value, the better for the investors.
it's
You
better
have your
for the
holdings.
investor, but for them to get the share buyback, most of those investors will have sold. So
Well-
what do they now? Am I going to sell now at maybe 240? How much is Dangote?
For the long-term investors, I tell you,
270.
don't sell your shares, because we
If
have
they
seen
do
their
not sell, where will
projection.
Dangote now see shares
Hold
to buy
on, we
back?
have seen the
No, I know, I
projection,
think you
the
can- if you
projection
look-
of
if-
330.
If you look at the document, it is there they are coming to the market to buy. It's the normal offering every day.
That is what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
way to
So
take.
those that are buying now, that are selling now, are they now coming to buy
No,
back
it's
when?
those that are not selling naturally that want to sell on those 2 days. That is why they put
There
that
is no
caveat.
time. What we are out here is not to discuss this. I might shift it to probably next week or per week. We will bring it back even after the completion of the
You
exercise.
see that there was a
And
caveat that you should trade carefully, so that it won't be because you heard that Dangote want to buy back, you want to not sell.
Anyway, see, I just said you will have seen the advert of Association of Avid Shareholders.
For a trader, sell.
Yeah.
For a long-term investor, never sell.
Never
because
sell.
this is the company that has a growth of 32% on turnover and a growth of 36% on the profit after tax. It shows you it grows beyond the inflation, beyond the GDP growth. And this is a welcome company by any criteria. It's worth to hold.
You are buying back the share to destroy.
Yes.
Let's leave the issue. When we meet at our forum, particularly on February 19, some of those things we will not be able to discuss because of time here. We'll create the time at our forum to. You see, there are things we will discuss at the association level. There are things we will discuss at workshop level. There is a limit to what you can actually say on air. Let's move forward. Time. Heineken moves to take over minority shares in Champion Breweries. Heineken has opened application list for 3.11 billion naira takeover bid of minority shares in Champion Breweries. The plan is to acquire about 1,197 million shares, or about 15.3% of Champion Breweries, under a mandatory takeover bid (MTO) at 2 naira 60 kobo. Application list for the MTO opened on Monday, January 10 this year, to close on Monday, January 31st, 2022. The qualification date for the MTO was Friday, December 31, 2021, implying that only minority shareholders of Champion Breweries, as at the close of business on 31st of December last year, can participate in the ongoing offer. Shareholders may accept the MTO at their discretion. The acquisition of the full MTO will increase Heineken's Raison Nigeria's shareholding from 4.752 billion shares, or 60.7% to 5,949 million ordinary shares, or about slightly under 76% equity. Now, Aruna, just briefly, because we're of time, what is this exercise all about? It's like they are buying the 60% owned by the majority shareholders, all right, they are now employing, so to say, other minority shareholders to sell at 2 naira 60 kobo. Am I correct?
Yes, there is a directive from SEC that if you take over, especially when you buy from the majority shareholder, that you should extend the largesse to the minority shareholder. They bought it at 2 naira 60 kobo. That is the same reason why the majority tender offer is at 2 naira 60 kobo. The question is that so that any minority shareholder who want to exit at that price can do so.
Madam, how attractive is this offer? Because I can see the price here at 2 naira 43
My
kobo, just
take,
17 kobo.
since it is mandatory takeover, I will advise the minority shareholders who is in need of cash exercise, otherwise hold on. Because after this takeover, the price will go up. There is no doubt, because the availability of the shares that will bring the price down is no more. And when the availability is no more, they have two choices. One choice, continue with the company as quoted. Another choice, decided to convert it into the main Nigerian breweries. And there is no way you will not be better off. Because they are the majority shareholder, they will do the exchange rate that will make you better off. And therefore hold your holding if you are not in need of money, and then take this mandatory takeover, because at the end of the day you are going to be better off.
Madam, let me ask this question. You answer in 1 second. What if I'm interested and I go to buy it at 2 naira 43 kobo? Will I be wise? Would that be a wise decision?
A wise decision for just gaining less than 10%? For me, it's not wise decision.
No, because I will be looking at the probability of the price moving forward.
Look, there is no way after this mandatory the price will not go up.
Aduna, which means that I should buy.
Well, I won't recommend that I should buy, because there's every tendency that after they take over, they can delist or they go back to the
NSD.
You can't delist just like that. For you to delist, you need
is
minority
their
shareholder to approve for that,
prerogative to
because
do
not
that.
the majority to decide.
If they want to do, they come to the meeting to agree. The one that have been delisting and the minority have been approving. How did they do it? We know how these games are played.
Look, Haruna, we have two markets. Even if you delist, I can go and trade NSD market.
That was what I said now.
Yes, hold on. It doesn't matter. But your price is going to be better up. Those who did not exercise the same for mobile, that is 11 PLC, today they are better off. The price trading in NSD is much better than the price they were in the NGX.
See,
so for the shareholders, I will advise you hold
when it comes to stock market, 1 hour will never be. See, we have spent almost half of our time.
Look at it. You are talking about 11 PLC because it's this a number of people that you realize that they show their position in this champion breweries, which means that if there was value, I'm not sure that they will be exiting. That is one. Two, if they move to Nazi, who told you that they would operate it better than the previous owners?
No, they will definitely.
Because the question is,
because like what Malam is saying,
for everything that what controls the price in the market is the information that you are.
No, what Malam is saying is that this is champion breweries.
Yes.
Heineken that is buying it is already in Nigerian breweries. What if they decide to bring champion and then to Nigerian breweries? It will be a kill for whoever that has invested in it.
But don't forget that the rate of exchange still have to do with the price.
Yes, it will, but there's no way.
It's doing like 48 naira.
Yes,
and
there's no way ultimately that you will lose. You can't lose.
You have forgotten that they can even want to increase their holding in Heineken, and therefore they will now value this champion higher because they have the stake, and the conversion will be better for them. And you, the minority shareholder, you are going to be better off.
You see, on this platform, you get the best of information, but you don't have time. Can you see it now? Maybe we have to plead for 2 hours if it will not be boring for you. Let's move forward. Okay, looking at the market summary for last week, All-Share Index was up 1.37%, market capitalization up 1.37% year to date. All-Share Index up 4.07%, market capitalization up 7.42% because of BUA introduction. Right, volume was down 21.10, deals up 43.54, value down 44.56. Okay, well, another good week if you ask me. Right, to me, I might be wrong, that you see all these indexes are compared to the previous week. And the previous week, we saw BUA came, and it is not an everyday activity. So if BUA was not there last week, the upper week, what we saw last week in deals, in volume, in value, particularly in volume and value that declined, will have been better than this. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Malam, quickly tell us in 1 minute what the possibilities are this week.
Well, the possibility of this week is to continue because we have two things. We have the acquisition, buyback by the Dangote, and still MTN have not released their final result. But I held NGX. All globally, from New York to London to France to Germany to China to Japan,
was dwindling.
all the market were down.
Yeah.
But ours was up. Why? Because the big players are better. MTN gain, Airtel gain, Dangote Cement gain, BUA Food gain. And these are big players. So we held NGX and we hope that this week will continue.
And I want to advise, this is not a year you should, starting from all of us in the studio, the cameramen, and then those that put powder on our faces, what do they call them? Makeup. And even you, Shegun, that is correcting me. So we must make sure that this year, particularly those of us in the studio, you hold Malam by his tie after the presentation, you hold Aruna, make sure that even if it is 5,000, 10,000, start something. We cannot be saying that there are possibilities in the market and you get to hear us and you are there laughing, smiling, and you are not taking the opportunity. All right? Okay. So I make a promise to everybody in the studio today, small amount to start, and I will not pay you. Go and register. 50, half of you registered with Malam. The remaining register with I will pay the money to their account. You must invest. All of you listening, watching at home, you must invest. All right, let's move forward. When it comes to gainers, in just 1 week, we could see BUA Foods 24.06%. Fine, but my attention will be on Transcorp, Jaiz, Fitsin, Academy, Eternal. All right. All these are low price equities. Madam, I put to you. They have started like they did last year and nobody is looking at anything. Transcorp.
You see, the market is doing the right thing. I have not seen a stock that is grossly undervalued like Transcorp. Turnover is increasing, profit is increasing. But the only problem with Transcorp is 1 kobo dividend. But for a long-term investors, this is a stock to hold. And if you see the volume in millions and the value that is going, it shows you people see value and start taking position. For Jaiz, I have no doubt over it. Jaiz 2021 will be one of their best year in performance. But why was it closed low? Because we had an investors who wanted to sell 170 million, desperate. And that brings the price to 54 kobo. Those who took 54 kobo today is 70 kobo or 68 kobo. They have gained 20%. Where will you invest again 20% in 2 weeks? Only capital market. And if you decided to take your profits, so it be. But for those who are long-term investors, I ask them to hold all these stock deserve it. Fixing is one of the performing stock in pharmaceutical. Nobody can take it from them. Gross in turnover, gross in the profit before tax, gross in the profit after tax, in double digits.
From what I'm even getting to here, when you see the audited report of Fixing, you will just begin to run because it is bound to be far better than what it has the previous year.
About me, it's already done because next year you will start seeing post-quarter result. The rule of the exchange, if you are not going to declare your audited account on or before the end of February, you must release your unaudited account before the end of January. And by next year, we will start seeing this. And those will be the indicator that the rally will start it. So the rally of this week coming will be much better than the previous one.
Aruna, because we really don't have time, I want us to really dwell. Unfortunately, now we have less than 25 minutes to talk about, in fact, less than 20 minutes to talk about what we really want to talk about. But let me put this question to you. I was just looking at it when I was preparing this. For the first time in a long while, though their result often has been superior, so to speak, in major indicators when we begin to analyze relating turnover, profit, and all those earnings with price. All right, GTCO and Zenith. For the first time in a long while, I could see Zenith slightly selling above GTCO. How sustainable do you think this is?
As far as Zenith keep on releasing better result than GTCO, you know what we saw, especially quarter 2 result and quarter 3 result of GTCO after they have gone to holding. We see decline from top line to bottom line, and on the other hand, Zenith has been growing. The only thing is that the sentiment has been so strong in favor of GTCO as waned because of the performance. You know why the sentiment lasted. You can see that they were both growing, even if they were paying almost the same dividend. They were operating almost at the same earning per share because their result was positive, so the sentiment could stay. But now that they are declining and everybody is now asking themselves from one quarter to the other quarter, you understand? So if they release their quarter 4 and they still decline the way they did in quarter 2 and 3, and
Zenith is now positive,
because if they decline, then if they are even going to pay a dividend that is commensurate to what Zenith is paying, they will be forcing themselves to do it.
You know, we have said it before. When GT decided to use ego and sentiment, they pay the price. Everybody know where are their EDs. One of the EDs they sack is now the MD of a bank. And we have seen for the last 10 years, GT never their turnover and the profit before tax and profit after tax decline. But we have seen it in the third quarter. And it shows you that they are paying the price of their wrong decisions. And when you make a wrong decision, you pay the price. I can assure you, even by the end of this quarter, you will see then it will come to lead. There is no doubt over it, because they are consistent and GT were not, and that is the price of holding core they are holding.
Mala, the problem I have is that I always have questions. You see, I had wanted to move forward, but I will have to ask you this question, Mala. I'm holding GTCO, I'm holding Zenith. Which one should I sell? Which one should I hold? Which one should I, in case I want to buy more, which one are you advising I buy?
I will advise you to sell GTCO to buy more of Zenith, because the obvious is there. The performance, we have seen it. The changes is not there in the Zenith. Zenith decided to remain as a bank. This is holding core. Holding core for what? When you have sold all your children, now you wake up.
You sold all your children?
Yes, now. They were part and parcel of ARM pension fund. They are no more. They have sold AXA Mansa. They are no more. So most of their subsidiaries that are doing good, they dispose them.
Mala, what company is even making them GTCO?
It's just the ego. The ego.
Let's leave that aside. I'll go on a short break, inviting you again to come and join Association of Avid Shareholders. I will be right back. Hello, I'm Abayomi of Babulujo. I'm coming to you this time around to formally invite you to be a member of Association of Avid Shareholders. In the past, I've been used and done. That is what I've seen. People who want to do private placement, they will call me, and then I will give them support. After they got the money, they become unreachable. Some of these companies, as we speak now, are being delisted from the floor of the NGX. It shouldn't be. You see, there's a limit to how far the Securities and Exchange Commission can do. There's a limit to what the NGX can do. They're just the regulators. They will not do beyond the dictate of their regulatory responsibilities. But you see, to make management of our quoted companies to sit tight is a responsibility that you and me as investors in the market will have to undertake. In 2008, when the market crashed, I know how much I lost. It almost ruined me. But thank God, I survived. Many people did not survive. But how many managers of quoted companies actually experienced such losses? They collect salary. They manage companies for 10 years without paying one single dividend. And yet, they pay themselves bonuses. They pay themselves salaries. What are you benefiting? So let us rise together and make sure that things are done properly, that things are done well, the way things should be done in this market. That is why in the month of February 19, 2022. We're going to be converging. The place we're going to be using really is not big enough, so you have to pre-register. Register first as a member of Association of Avid Shareholders, and then register to attend the event. As we gather together, as we embark on our mobilization, so we are also going to be previewing 2022 to tell you what stocks, what industries that you should invest, and then we tell you why. We tell you the qualities of equities you should invest in, and we also show you those you should not even bother to go near. These are the things we want to do, to share experiences, to share knowledge, to share information, to educate ourselves, so that we all can become informed investors, better investors, as we also stand to claim our right, to fight for our right, so that we can secure our future as we are investing today. That is my submission. I hope to see you. Thank you.